Good afternoon, this is Miss Jill Louise Starr, and this afternoon I'd like to discuss something of prime importance. I want to discuss the article and the situation in which between 1999 and 2001, when my friend Dr. Darko Trifunovic was employed as the first secretary of the Bosnian mission to the United Nations in New York City. An Al-Qaeda operative was also employed there. At the time, Darko was working there, and I was helping him at the Bosnian mission between 1999 and 2001. In the United States of America, directly prior to 9/11 terrorist attacks, as a Bosnian Muslim diplomat. Darko and I faxed about a week or two before 9/11 to the United States mission at the United Nations, which was located across the street from the Bosnian mission in New York. And we stayed up all night to fax every single other United Nations member state mission at the United Nations in New York City a warning that the Al-Qaeda operative, Mr. Kadovic, from Bosnia, was employed at that time, and we tried to warn everybody that also an international arms trader for Osama bin Laden was also the head ambassador of the Bosnian mission to the United Nations between 1999 and 2001, when Darko was employed there, and I was helping him. And my question is to the United States, to Bill Clinton, who I believe was president at the time, and to all other missions, why our warning was ignored and why everybody had to die, which is why I posted that the 9/11 terrorist attacks, in my estimation, could have been prevented because of the information written in this article by Dr. Darko Trifunovic, which was dated here, September 17, 2008. I'm going to start here. I'll post two pictures of, first, the man's name wasn't Seyfet Kadovic. His real name, he was an Al-Qaeda terrorist. His real name was Abdel Kadir Moqtadi Abu Mali. Many of you have become familiar with this name, Mali. He was a main Al-Qaeda operative for the Balkans, which enjoyed, quote, diplomatic cover, end quote. I remember him asking me to fix his computer numerous times. He would sit there in the Bosnian mission doing nothing more than, with a clean shave and a little mustache, listening to Led Zeppelin music on CD-ROMs, and asking me and Darko if we could make him copies of Led Zeppelin and his other favorite musical artist. I had no idea he was an Al-Qaeda agent until Darko told me. Al-Qaeda operative Safet, spelled S-A-F-E-T, Kadovic, spelled C-A-T-O-V-I-C, is employed, and he's the person we refer to in the other writings, was employed as a counselor in one of the 3 diplomatic consular offices of the Bosnian Federation in the United States of America, experts for radical Islam said, as reported by the Serbian media. This man, regarded by anti-terrorist experts as was a key figure of the Islamic terrorist network in the Muslim part of Bosnia, considered a coordinator of all the Mr. Kadovic was a coordinator of all the extremist terrorist actions and operations conducted from the Balkan Al-Qaeda terrorist cells of the Islamic terrorist organizations, period. Quote, he is a key Al-Qaeda operative for the Balkans. Mr. Seyfet Kadovic works as employed as a, quote, advisor to the Bosnian Muslim Diplomatic Office of the United States of America, end quote, said Mr. Darko Trifunovic, professor at the Belgrade Faculty of Security. Quote, Darko continues, together with Mohammed Sakarbi, Kadovic was running the non-governmental organization Global Medical Fund, which was involved in bringing over to the former Yugoslavia Mujahideen mercenaries, the operation which is known under the code name, quote, Winter 94, Dr. Trifunovic states. Al-Mujahideen and summer jihad camps were implemented in the heart of the United States of America while he was employed at the Bosnian mission. The al-Mujahideen unit comprised of Arab mercenaries sent over to Bosnia and Herzegovina to help former Bosnian and Herzegovina President Alija Izetbegović exterminate the Serbs during the Bosnian Civil War, accounted for 3,500 al-Qaeda troops. Overall, it is estimated that there were between 10,000 and 15,000 Muslim mercenaries from the Islamic countries operating in Bosnia and Herzegovina between the 1992 and 1995 Civil War period in Bosnia. Many were promptly given citizenship by Alija Izetbegović, former president of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the regime at the war's end, and settled on the property of the ethnically cleansed Serb population that were ethnically cleansed during the Bosnian Civil War at that time period. Quote, Darko states, on August 2001, Safet Kadovic organized the summer jihad camp at the place where one of the planes which targeted the Twin Towers was downed, together with Inam Sahadi Fari, suspect in the first attack on New York Trade Center in 1993. Dr. Trifinovich explained, sorry, I'm a little emotional, but I do believe that 9/11 could have been prevented if people paid attention to what we had said. One of Serbia's main anti-terrorism experts isn't the only one who raised the red flag over the man behind the Bosnian Muslim, quote, diplomatic counselor employed at the Bosnian mission. Bosnia's Zivad, spelled D-Z-E-V-A-D, Galijasvić, spelled Galijasevic, also claimed Kadovic was an intruder, al-Qaeda agent, and hiding behind the false identity of his diplomat, period. Quote, Mr. Galijasvić stated, quote, Kadovic is of African Asian origin, most likely from Algeria. He is a member of the GIA, Group Islamic of Algeria. Sefet Abid Kadovic is a false identity he took from the Bosnian Muslim who died in 1992. He is a very important link in the al-Qaeda terrorist network chain, a link between the formal part of the Bosnian Muslim government and the informal organizational units of al-Qaeda, end quote. Mr. Javad Galijasvić told Bosnian Serb newspaper Glas Srpska. He also added that Kadovic is probably Abdel Kadir Modkadi Abu Amali, a former commander of Bosnian al-Mujahideen unit, period. However, Bosnian Muslim officials claim that after his arrival to war-torn Bosnia and Herzegovina, Safet Kadovic was first issued official documents in the name of Khalid ibn Abdullah, after which he changed his last name first to Kadovic, which officially was spelled C-H-A-T-I-C-H, and then to Kadovic, spelled C-A-T-O-V-I-C, while all the other data in his documents remained unchanged, period. I'm going to continue this in the next segment. Thank you.